Imagine this. You are sitting in the CELPIP reading test. The passages appear on your screen, but you're not nervous. You're ready. You've practiced effective strategies with proven techniques. You know how to scan for answers quickly, identify question types instantly, and manage your time perfectly. And you know exactly what the CELPIP examiners are looking for. In this video, you'll learn 10 powerful strategies that separate CLB 7 candidates from CLB 10 plus candidates. By the end, you'll know exactly how to apply these strategies in your test. If you want to achieve the CELPIP score you need, check out our CELPIP packages. We'll guide you step by step on how to score high, so you'll feel confident on test day. Just click on the link in the description. And now, let's dive in. Strategy number 1 for achieving CLB 10 or higher in CELPIP reading is understanding the question types. Each part of the CELPIP reading test uses different question formats, and recognizing these patterns saves you valuable time. In part 1, you need to identify key details about emails or messages. In part 2, you need to extract information from diagrams and apply it to real-life situations. Part 3 asks you to match information with the correct paragraphs. And finally, part 4 tests your inference and paraphrase skills. When you know what type of questions you're answering, you can focus accordingly. For example, if the question asks about the author's main argument, you know to focus on topic sentences and concluding statements rather than minor details. This awareness of question types allows you to read strategically instead of wasting time on information you don't need. The second essential strategy is learning to predict where answers appear in the text. CELPIP reading passages follow logical organizational patterns, and high-scoring candidates use these patterns to locate information faster. When you see a question about chronological events, you know the passage likely presents information in time order. When you encounter a question about causes and effects, you know that you need to look for signal words like because, therefore, as a result, and consequently. This prediction skill becomes even more powerful when you combine it with scanning. Instead of reading the entire passage word by word, train your eyes to scan the text quickly. This can help you find the correct answers quickly. Strategy number 3 is to eliminate wrong answers. Many test takers choose the first option that seems reasonable. By contrast, high-scoring candidates look for reasons to eliminate each incorrect choice. In CELPIP reading, wrong answers typically fall into specific categories. Some options include information that appears in the passage but doesn't actually answer the question. Other wrong answers present ideas that contradict the passage or include details that are never mentioned at all. Using the elimination strategy can help you find the correct answer. You're not simply guessing between two options that seem similar. Instead, you can clearly identify why some of the answers are definitely wrong. This makes the correct answer obvious. The fourth crucial strategy is reading the question before reading the passage. Don't read the full passage and try to remember everything. Instead, read one question first, then search for that specific information in the passage and answer the question. Then move on to the next question. This question-by-question strategy helps you avoid wasting time on irrelevant details. When you read the entire passage first, you spend a lot of time reading information that might not even be tested. If you read the questions first, you know exactly what you need to look for in the passage. This saves time and can help you boost your score. Strategy number 5 is to manage your time effectively. Many CELPIP candidates make the mistake of spending too much time on one question. By contrast, high-scoring candidates allocate their time strategically. If you spend too much time on one question, you'll not have enough time to answer the remaining questions. Therefore, if you encounter a particularly challenging question, Don't waste time trying to solve it. Instead, answer the remaining questions and return to the difficult one later. Often, answering other questions about the same passage gives you additional context that makes the challenging question easier to solve. By the way, if you want this channel to keep going, write yes in the comments, click like and subscribe. We only make videos that you actually want to watch. The next strategy is to recognize paraphrasing patterns in both questions and answer choices. CELPIP Reading frequently paraphrases information from the passage using synonyms and different grammatical structures. For example, the passage might state that a company experienced significant growth in revenue. The correct answer choice might say the company saw substantial increases in income. Both sentences express the same idea, using different vocabulary. Train yourself to recognize these paraphrasing patterns. For instance, when you read the passage and encounter the word mitigate, you should immediately connect it to synonyms like reduce, lessen, alleviate, or minimize. This helps you match information between the passage and the answer choices much more quickly. Additionally, high-scoring candidates understand that correct answers often use different grammatical structures than the original passage. A sentence written in active voice might be paraphrased in passive voice. A complex sentence with multiple clauses might be simplified into 2 shorter sentences. Recognizing that the same information can be presented in various grammatical forms prevents you from being confused by answer choices that sound different from the passage but express identical ideas. Strategy number 7 is absolutely essential. Avoid trap answers. The CELPIP deliberately includes traps to catch careless readers. These trap answers often contain vocabulary or phrases taken directly from the passage, which makes them seem correct at first glance. However, when you read carefully, you discover that these options use vocabulary from the passage in ways that create a different meaning or answer a different question entirely. For example, the passage might state, remote work offers flexibility but requires strong self-discipline. A trap answer might say, remote work is the most flexible working arrangement available. This answer uses the word flexible, but it introduces a superlative comparison that the passage never makes. Make sure you compare each answer choice carefully against what the passage actually states. Don't rely on keywords alone. Another common trap involves answer choices that are factually true in general, but are not supported by the specific passage you're reading. The test designers know that candidates sometimes rely on their own knowledge rather than the passage. Always remember that the correct answer must be supported by explicit evidence in the passage, regardless of what you personally know about the topic. Strategy number 8 is to develop strong inference skills. Some CELPIP reading questions ask you to draw conclusions, identify implications, or understand what the author suggests without stating directly. These inference questions require you to combine multiple pieces of information from the passage and use logical reasoning to reach a conclusion. When answering inference questions, you must find clear evidence in the text to support your answer, even though the answer itself isn't explicitly stated. For instance, the passage might mention that a company implemented 3 cost-saving measures and subsequently reported increased profits. An inference question could ask what the company's leadership was likely concerned about before implementing these changes. The correct answer would be something like reducing expenses or improving financial performance. You can infer this from the relationship between their actions and outcomes. Don't forget that inferences must be based on what the passage actually says, not on what you think might be true based on your own experiences or opinions. Strategy number 9 is to use context clues for unfamiliar vocabulary. Don't panic when you encounter words you don't know. You don't need to understand every word to answer the questions correctly. Instead, you need to figure out enough about the word's meaning from the surrounding context. When you encounter an unfamiliar word, the first step is to identify what part of speech it is. Is it a noun describing a person, place, or thing? Is it a verb describing an action? Is it an adjective describing a quality? This helps you narrow down possible meanings. Take a look at this sentence. The new employee showed remarkable initiative by organizing a charity event without being asked. You can identify that initiative is a noun describing a quality or characteristic, and the sentence suggests this quality involves taking action independently. The second step is to look for context clues in the sentences immediately surrounding the unfamiliar word. CELPIP passages often provide hints about word meanings through definitions, examples, or contrasts. Check out this sentence. The cafe's ambiance was warm and inviting, with soft lighting, comfortable seating, and gentle background music that made customers want to stay longer. Here you can infer that ambience means something like atmosphere or overall feeling, because the surrounding text describes various elements that create a pleasant environment. Another powerful technique is determining whether the unfamiliar word has a positive, negative, or neutral connotation. Even if you can't define the word precisely, knowing its emotional tone helps you eliminate wrong answer choices. Let's say a passage describes someone's meticulous approach to project planning in the context of producing high-quality work and meeting all deadlines successfully. Here, you can infer that meticulous has a positive connotation related to careful attention to detail, even if you've never seen this word before. Finally, strategy number 10 is this: watch out for distractors. Distractors are wrong answers that the test makers create to confuse candidates who aren't reading carefully enough. Understanding how distractors work gives you a significant advantage in identifying correct answers quickly and confidently. The most common type of distractor uses words or phrases directly from the passage, but combines them in ways that create incorrect meanings. For example, if the passage mentions Sarah's innovative marketing strategy in paragraph 2 and increased sales revenue in paragraph 4, a distractor might say, Sarah's innovative strategy increased sales revenue. This sounds plausible because it uses exact words from the passage, but the passage never actually connects Sarah's strategy to the increased revenue. Another frequent distractor type involves extreme language or absolute statements. For example, the passage might state, many experts believe remote work can improve productivity. A distractor might say, all experts agree that remote work improves productivity. The distractor changes many to all and can improve to improves. This creates an absolute statement that the passage doesn't support. Pay attention to words like always, never, all, none, only, and must, because these words often signal distractors. A third type of distractor presents information that contradicts the passage, but sounds reasonable based on general knowledge. Candidates who rely on their own knowledge rather than the passage content often select these distractors. The key is to base every answer solely on what the passage explicitly states, even if you personally know different information about the topic. These are 10 strategies you must know to score highly on the CELPIP reading test. If you're serious about achieving the CELPIP score you need, check out our CELPIP packages using the link below. We'll guide you step by step on how to score high, so you'll feel confident on test day. I hope you liked this video. Don't forget to like, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell icon so you're notified when the next video comes out. Also, share this video with your friends so they can improve their CELPIP score too. See you in the next video!